Burger King. And now there's a Deer Park truck. Burger King, home of the Whopper and flame-grilled everything, has been serving fast food since 1954. But over the years, menu items have come and gone. From bold experiments to cult favorites, many beloved items have quietly disappeared, leaving fans wondering why. Recently, Burger King's sales have taken a hit. They've been closing down locations. And while there are plenty of reasons behind that slump, I can't help but wonder, could part of the problem be that they've abandoned the very items that once set them apart? I found 7 fast food delicacies from the past from Burger King. I found original recipes, tracked down ingredient replacements, and I'm going to try to recreate these long-lost legends as close to the real thing as possible. Will these forgotten favorites bring back a wave of nostalgia, or were they discontinued for a reason and better left in the past? Join me as I eat Burger King's discontinued items for an entire week. All right, day one. I just went, look, they got these How to Train Your Dragon crowns. They've got How to Train Your Dragon on everything. So I ordered some food, and we're going to go through. We're bringing back a couple things, very exciting. We're going to be bringing back that Nickelodeon green apple slime. We're bringing back the shake fries, so we'll get into all that. We also have this. This is brand new. This is their Nerds milkshake, I guess. Nerds. I'll get the real name for it, but it's some kind of nerd slushy. I want to try this first though, because I think it's already starting to melt, and I want to give it a, you know, it's dessert, so it should be last, but I want to give it a fair shake. I'm not a big dessert guy, but I do love Nerds, and Nerds were so much fun when I was a kid. Those little packages, and you slid them open on each side and got your Nerds. Nerds. Fantastic. I like down there a little better than here. Basically, it's your standard icy. I don't know if this was a mistake, because I just came back from the restaurant, so I don't know if they normally put a little extra syrupy soda at the bottom. Not that many Nerds. Once you get down a little bit, you almost have no Nerds, but these are the Shake 'em Up fries. These are from 2002. Take a look at the commercial.
Shake 'em Up fries are back at Burger King. You can just dump in your fries, add as much cheese flavor as you like, then shake and eat.
So I'm going to dump my French fries in the bag. That's easy. But then we need their special cheese powder. Now I looked and it says that it was actually made by Kraft. Now I'm thinking this is the powder that they put in this stuff, right? We're going to take that cheese powder, putting it right in the bag. I like Burger King, by the way. This is it's kind of fun to go back. I did not have these when these first came out. But the history of Burger King is kind of fascinating. We'll get to that maybe on day 3 or day 4. I do want to tell you the history of their fries, though. They started out, of course, they had fries right off the bat. They did not change the recipe significantly for decades. It wasn't until 1990 they switched from beef tallow to soybean oil. Everybody else was around that time. There was a man named Phil Sokolov. He was a millionaire. And he had a heart attack at age 42, and so he started putting these full-page ads. They looked like this, and they were directed initially at just McDonald's, saying you got to stop using beef tallow and start using seed oils. You know, put these ads in the paper for so long that all of the companies followed forth. So this is supposed to make cheese fries. Now, I got to tell you, I was thinking about this. I'm pretty sure this is like the nacho fries that they have at Taco Bell, because those are always coated. Although that coating, I've had those nacho fries once or twice, and I don't love them. Every time I'm like, oh, I love nachos, I love fries, and then I try them and they're too sweet. But these, I don't know if you can see that, but these are fully coated. These are pretty good. I gotta say, this is a great idea. Now, these are not the same fries, though, that they had in 2002, because in 1997, they had reformulated their fries, and they put this, like, crispy coating on them. They were fantastic.
Oh, on behalf of Burger King, it's a privilege to introduce the fries that'll change history.
So those fries were still being sold at Burger King when they introduced this in 2002, with a little packet that you put in there. They said that consumers were just kind of confused by the whole thing. It is an extra step. You'd have to buy the packet separate. I think the packet was like 25 cents. They had Bart Simpson in a lot of their promotional advertisements. They overhauled the fries to these fries in 2011. McDonald's has something like this in Japan that they call Shaka Shaka fries.
Sir, there is noise complaint from neighbors.
I say bring this back, and I say they should shake them for you. Yeah, we're going to Burger King. We don't want to do any work. I think we should come up with like a clever thing. Like I say, does this get a royal comeback, or is it exiled from the kingdom? And I'll say that this, royal comeback. The other thing I got was Burger King's chicken nuggets. Burger King's nuggets have come a long way. When they first started, they had chicken tenders. What we're bringing back now, though, is an item that they had. This was a collaboration with Nickelodeon, and it wasn't for the nuggets, but it was a sauce that you would get for the nuggets. So here's what we're going to need. This is our essentials for cooking. We need our Caro syrup, apple juice concentrate. We also have sugar here, so we're adding some sugar. You're going to need sugar. I also added honey, xanthan gum, and citric acid. No, I got that backwards. Let me see. Oh boy. Okay. I bought citric acid and xanthan gum. So here's what you get. This sludge, this is the green apple sauce. It tastes like a Jolly Rancher. If we're going to do this, we better do it right. All right, here we go. This is your green apple sauce. Let me do a control bite. Okay, all right. For starters, it's not a bad nugget. All right, they know what they're doing. I'm double dipping because I don't think anyone else is going to want any. All right, let's get another. This is really good. This is a royal. What do we say? I forgot already. This is a royal return. We're off to a good start. I will see you tomorrow. Have it your way. Have it your way. All right, here we are. Day 2. Been thrown a curveball already. First of all, this is the craziest Burger King I've ever been in. It's got this whole rock and roll 1950s theme, but then they have pictures of Laurel and Hardy on the wall. Very unusual. Got the How to Train Your Dragon mozzarella fries. So this is a limited time item, although I know they have the mozzarella fries. They used to call them mozzarella sticks. They changed them to mozzarella fries, but I know they've had these for a while, but these are special fiery ones. I guess this may be the first time they've had these. I don't know, but I'm excited to try those. I love a good mozzarella stick. But then the real curveball was this. I was going to recreate the Rodeo Burger. They got the Rodeo Burger back on the menu. So they have it has made a royal return. It doesn't matter what I say here. It's already back on the menu. Now, there is one difference, which I'm gonna show you. This version that they make uses a different barbecue sauce. So I actually brought the original barbecue sauce. So maybe I'll try both of them. I don't know. I'm thrown off my game today. Let's start off with these melty mozzarella cheese sticks coated in Calabrian chili pepper breading. Seems to be a new chili pepper like every 6 months. These are brand new, by the way. I think these came out yesterday or the day before that. Here's the thing. I just got these, and there is, oh, that's not bad. I was going to say no cheese pull, but now I'm a mess. I told my wife that I was going to get Burger King, and I said, I'm eating Burger King every day this week. And she was like, how's that any different than any other week? This is the Rodeo Burger, introduced in 1998 as a promotion for the movie Small Soldiers.
Did you order the Rodeo Burger? You're darn right I did. It was flame broiled and delicious.
Burger King salutes small soldiers with a tasty new Rodeo Burger.
Originally, they used Bullseye Barbecue. This is a Kraft Heinz product that first came out in 1985.
He had a bottle of Bullseye in his hand.
Burger King used it initially, but they switched to Sweet Baby Ray's, which I think is a better barbecue sauce. Onion rings are a classic Burger King staple. They have been on the menu for 50 years.
Well, I guess if I want crisp, golden, mouth-watering onion rings, I'll have to go to Burger King.
Here we go. Let's see how this is. I'm not a fan of onions. As a kid, I never would eat anything with onions on it. But this tastes really good. I'm going to put some of this on there. So we are at least bringing back the original sauce. After its limited time run promoting Small Soldiers, they brought it back like 2 years later, and then since then they brought it back from time to time. They have offered a version of the Rodeo Burger in Burger Kings all around the world. In Argentina and Chile, they called it the Whopper Rodeo because they used the Whopper instead of just a cheeseburger. Now, we had a Western Whopper for a while in the United States. That was cheddar cheese, crispy bacon, and barbecue sauce. The Western Whopper. I give a resounding thumbs up to both of these. I hope this sticks around, so hope they keep that. I'm glad it had its royal return. So here we go. Day 2 is in the books. We're all done. We've had 2 days of Burger King, you and I. I'll see you tomorrow.
The two-fisted burger at Burger King.
All right. It is day 3. I'm excited about today. We are remaking one of my favorites, the Italian chicken sandwich.
International flavors also different. Original chicken, so magnificent.
To start off, you're going to need the original chicken sandwich. Ask for it plain. Then you got to get a couple slices of mozzarella cheese. You're going to melt that on top. Looks pretty good in there. I think that I'm happy with. This was introduced in 1988. They did this whole line of sandwiches.
Introducing 3 delicious international chicken sandwiches, fixed, fresh, served hot.
Have it your way.
The Italian way, white meat chicken with mozzarella cheese covered in marinara sauce.
This is crazy. We've got water, tomato, we've got vinegar, and then after that we have 3 types of sugar. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Put all that on there. Even it out. This is how the employees do it, I'm sure. All right. Here goes nothing.
Senza rimpianti, senza mai più conoscere cos'è l'amore, senza più gelosia.
It's very delicious. You taste all the different elements. I am still pleased with this one. This is a classic. I think this absolutely deserves a royal return. And finally, we've got this. Look at this. This is the Viking Chocolate Sundae. This is off their How to Train Your Dragon special menu. It's soft serve vanilla, Hershey's chocolate syrup, and then green cookie crumbles. It's underwhelming just to look at it, I must say. The cookie crumbles are a little green. I would not have noticed they were green if they didn't tell me. I don't know that a Viking would be that impressed by this. The cookie stuff tastes, fine, like crumbled up cookies. That's all it is. It is what it is. Whatever. We're heading back to the 1970s today. We're going to have the Yumbo. We are trying one sandwich today, but 2 different versions of it. The first one was released in 1968, hung around on the menu until 1974 when it quietly was discontinued. But then, in 1988, they tried to bring it back with actor Christopher Maloney.
Yumbo, the hot ham and cheese sandwich now at Burger King. And one day in your dictionary.
Last year, Christopher Maloney was on with Seth Meyers, and he talked about shooting this commercial.
I get the job, and the producer looks at my hands, and he goes, your nails and your cuticles, like with this face.
So they go out and open a nail salon early, and they drag in the nail people, and they do the manicure on his hands, and then they asked him if he wanted nail polish.
So I got a polish, and the producer hit the roof.
Now, this is the original Yumbo, which was on a hamburger bun. It also was buttered. The bun is buttered. And then they use Black Forest ham and they use white American cheese on the Yumbo. There is no lettuce or mayo on the original Yumbo. So here is the 1968. It's a hot ham sandwich. How can we go wrong here? I like this. It's simple. I like how light it is. You're not eating a burger. You don't have a greasy burger. You have a greasy piece of ham.
The Yumbo hot ham and cheese from the 70s is back. Yumbo. Hot Black Forest ham and melted cheese.
After its brief run in 1988, the Yumbo disappeared until 2014. This is Tom Walsh Jr. The year before, he was Burger King's franchisee of the year. Tom's dad had been a Burger King franchisee, so he would regularly eat there. And in 2014, he said, "The Yumbo hot ham and cheese sandwich was a favorite I remember having as a boy in my dad's restaurants. And I know our guests are going to have fun bringing it back and sharing it with their own kids." The whole thing was this big meme. They had like a number you could call to hear a recorded Yumbo message. And they were really just utilizing items that were on their menu. So what they did was they took the original chicken sandwich bun, they put the ham, put the American cheese, also put some mayo on here. And then I have Burger King's iceberg lettuce. And my goodness, it is the saddest looking lettuce. I don't know where this lettuce has been, but I know where it's going, and I'm not happy about it. Let's give it a taste. Here's the thing. We live in a society where we cannot have two different Yumbos on the menu. I like how small this one is. I like that this is just kind of I'm not that hungry. I'm going to get the Yumbo. I'm going to get a Yumbo.
What is the Yumbo? That's one of the best things that came out of the 70s. It's like sandwich gold.
Exiled from the kingdom and a royal return. So 1968 Yumbo, bring it back. The other one, get it out of here. Good morning. It's day 5. I need some coffee. I also think I needed a cut man this morning. I feel like I've had so much salt. My face is swelling up. I was like, Mick, you got to cut me. This was an interesting start. I had gotten a message on Patreon, said that they were serving Surge in some of the Coke Freestyle machines at some of the Burger Kings. Your soda machine, do you have Surge?
Surge, yes.
I haven't had it in years.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you don't have it? Okay. Surge, yeah.
Around.
I read that only some of them have it. So.
Yeah, not anymore.
No, not anywhere. So I was excited, but unfortunately was not to be. They make a good cup of coffee. They send out these mailers, these coupons, and so I was looking at it, and for $5.99, I can get 2 croissantwiches, a coffee, and hash browns. It's like a huge amount of food, and it's exactly what we need. These are great. Hash browns are always good, and they make them good. So today we're bringing back a sandwich that was introduced back in 2005.
New, the enormous omelet sandwich.
Toasted roll, 2 slices of American cheese, 2 layers of fluffy eggs, 3 strips of bacon, and a sausage patty. It was essentially a combination of multiple breakfast items in one sandwich. I don't know why you would need this. You could get 2 sandwiches. This probably was for the guy who was like, well, I couldn't eat 2. Just give me 1 giant sandwich. Here's what we're starting with. We got these croissantwiches. We're going to strip these out, take them off their croissant, which, by the way, I think this croissantwich is phenomenal. So this is a lot it's got to live up to. And there it is. An extreme sandwich with bacon, with sausage, with everything you could imagine. Just layers of ridiculous fried deliciousness. All right, let's give it a bite. The croissantwich is better. Day 5 is in the books. I like their coffee. For the extreme omelet sandwich, I'm going to say it is exiled from the kingdom. I'll see you tomorrow.
Now watch me, kids, when I twist my rings like magic.
We're at Burger King!
Here we go. It's day 6. A little bit windy. Hope the wind doesn't bother the audio equipment. I went over there, got their specialty How to Train Your Dragon drink at Burger King. I went online and I saw what is the healthiest option at Burger King.
No good!
And I looked, what is the healthiest option at Burger King? And what came up was a grilled chicken sandwich. So I went to the restaurant and said, hey, I'll get the grilled chicken sandwich, no mayo, healthiest thing on the menu. They said, we don't have the grilled chicken sandwich. So I looked at the list, and the second healthiest item was chicken nuggets. So I think you don't go to Burger King if you're trying to be on a diet. Now, today we are bringing back an item that they had that I thought was pretty clever.
Today, we're training y'all about the newest menu item, grilled dogs. Hot dogs grilled to perfection.
They launched these in February of 2016. They were gone the next year. Sales were low. They were Oscar Mayer hot dogs. And so I could make my own, but I thought, I know of a fast food place that serves Oscar Mayer hot dogs.
Introducing the 7-Eleven Big Bite, made by Oscar Mayer.
Here it is. This is the smallest hot dog they had, which seemed suspicious. I'm pretty sure Burger King's were smaller. This is only $2 though, which so seemed like a good deal. Burger King offered the hot dogs with ketchup, mustard. You could get onions and relish, or you could get a chili dog. I don't know where they source their chili. I also don't know where they source their buns, so the bun's not exactly the same. But I did, while I was at Burger King getting this, I got some ketchup and mustard. So they use Heinz. And I'm gonna do this just to rage bait everybody in Chicago. 7-Eleven has been serving hot dogs since the 1970s. Needs a little vodka, but this is good. It's very tart, a refreshing beverage crafted with real fruit, offering a sweet tart flavor profile. It's good. When I ordered it, the guy goes, "Oh, the fancy drink? Okay, one fancy drink." And he said it without a hint of sarcasm. Bringing it back, the 2016 Burger King grilled dog.
Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
It's a hot dog. I don't know what we're doing here. Burger King, you don't need to sell hot dogs. You're the Burger King. We're going to exile this from the kingdom. It makes sense that it went off the menu. I do like the idea of a drive-through hot dog. I actually bought this at Burger King when they had them because I love hot dogs, but there's lots of other places. We can go to 7-Eleven, but if we want to drive through, Sonic has better hot dogs. So Burger King, get this one out of there. I'll see you tomorrow, last day. We've got the Whopperito.
You say burrito, we say Whopperito.
We are on day 7. We're wrapping this thing up. I just got back from a successful trip to the drive-thru. I got to tell you, every Burger King that I visited, and I visited 3 different ones during this journey, everybody's been fantastic. Hi, can I get the How to Train Your Dragon Whopper? Okay. Also, I have a weird question. Can I get one of the tortillas that you guys use for the breakfast burrito? Just the tortilla? Yeah, I just want the tortilla. One moment. Yes, it's 50 cents. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Do you want it warmed up? Yes, if you could warm it up. Wow. The Whopper. This is the special How to Train Your Dragon Whopper. Now, most of what we need is wrapped up in this giant red bun. We'll try out the red bun. We'll try a bite of this on its own. I do want to tell you a little bit about the history of Burger King, because I did promise that. Burger King started out, there was a guy in Jacksonville, Florida, and he teamed up with his wife's uncle, and they started their own burger restaurant. He had seen fast food coming, and the chain that he was inspired by was Dairy Queen, which is why he named it Burger King. They actually named it Insta Burger King, and that was because they used an Insta broiler. And then the second restaurant was opened down in Miami by 2 guys, Macklemore and Edgerton. And then when Jacksonville started having trouble, they sold that, and they sold the entire franchise to those 2 guys in Miami. So those guys are considered to be the founders of Burger King. I think it's really all 4 of them, but the 2 guys in Miami shortened the name to Burger King. They got rid of the Insta broiler, and they started using something that they invented called the flame broiler. And then they started expanding first throughout the state of Florida. And a few years later, they had one location that wasn't doing the business that they needed. It was in Gainesville, Florida. And so they went to the Burger King and they looked around and they said, well, everything's clean, everything's tidy, the food's exactly the way we want you to serve it. Why is this location failing? And so the 2 of them just walked up and down the street. and they tried to figure out where were people going, and they found this little burger place. It was called Whataburger, but it was not part of the chain that we all know named Whataburger out of Texas. But it was just a local restaurant called Whataburger, and they went in and there was trash in the parking lot. The whole place was kind of a mess, and they could not figure out why on earth anybody would be eating here instead of their Burger King. And then they ordered the burger, and it was enormous. And so they said, we need to go back, make a bigger burger. Look at this. All right. This looks really good. All right. The bun has no special flavor. It just tastes like bread. But black sesame seeds on an orange bun. We are going to be creating Whopperito. I'm going to use most of this. I don't need all of this because there is no cheese. They didn't put the regular cheese in the Whopperito. There's no ketchup in the Whopperito, no mayo in the Whopperito, but they did have a queso in it. I got Tostitos queso. I think it was probably something very similar to this. Also, they said that the meat was seasoned with Tex-Mex seasoning. So I'll do a little magic with it. And I got the proper tortilla. So I'm going to put this together. I'll be right back.
It's got all the ingredients of the Whopper wrapped up like a burrito. It's great if you love both of those foods and hate yourself.
Behold, the Whopperito. You have come back, Whopperito. Welcome back to Earth, Whopperito. They did a test launch in 2016 of the Whopperito in the state of Pennsylvania. It was so successful, they had to go nationwide with this. This was only $2.99 when they released it. $4.99 for the combo. I'm a little torn. It's not terrible. It's not better than the Whopper. I wanted to go out on a positive. I've been thinking about this one all weekend. I've been thinking, what if I can give a royal return to the Whopperito? It's not as good as a Whopper. It's not as good as a Jack in the Box taco. It is exiled from the kingdom. I got one more thing I brought. This, I think, and they still have this. This has not gone away, but I think this is one of the greatest things they have. They introduced this for their onion rings. It's their zesty sauce. It's a bright orange sauce. This was introduced in the early 2000s. It's mayonnaise, horseradish, ketchup, mustard, and then a bunch of paprika to make it this day-glow orange. We had some winners and some losers. Let's take a look. Shake 'em up fries, green apple dipping sauce, the Rodeo Burger, the 1968 Yumbo, and the Italian chicken sandwich all deserve a royal return. However, that 2014 Yumbo, the enormous omelet sandwich, the grilled dogs, and the Whopperito, let's hope we never see them again. We give a shout out to everybody on Patreon. I hope you guys go over there. You can join for free. I post some behind the scenes stuff, have a nice chat going with everybody. And then if you want to upgrade for just $3 a month, I send postcards to you every single month. And if you go all the way up to $9, you'll get an awesome envelope of retro goodness. Every single month comes with a newsletter. You'll love reading it. Huge shout out to Aaron Wester, Al Archer, Awkward But Awesome, Bucky and Oliver, Carson Loveridge, Dana Snyder, Jason Evans, Jason Yealy, Jarrett Rusky, Jamie and Tom, Jen, Matthew Chapin, Mike and Jess, my big brother Rob, and Nick Roche. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this one. Boy, this was a lot of fun. If you have suggestions for other restaurants I should try this with or products I missed from Burger King, let me know in the comments. This was a lot of fun. I think after detoxing from Burger King, it'd be nice to try this again in a month or so. I'll see you next time.